All right.
Crazy is Barty looks a lot like Marianne, so I'm just like half the time I'm getting ready to yell at her and it ain't her.
Hey, Tom,
Yeah,
Jeff did mention, don't mention the name of the company we're with.
I won't. This is not my first rodeo. I was going to tell you the same thing.
Something
Perfect.
lost the pin on his video. You go pin his video for me, Jason.
Be sure to forward this to the other stations. Share the video. I love this guy, by the way.
He comes highly recommended. I'm
Yes.
very excited.
I thought you were dead. I was very happy to hear you.
No, we're still active.
Yeah, I'd say.
I
I
like.
just,
Yep, perfect. Thank you, bud.
That's the left side, Jason.
It's perfect where it is. Don't do anything.
All right, we're going live.
Tell us, stick something up. We'll be ready. And hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault, and it is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. We've got an unbelievable show for you today. This guy is even older than me, which is very, very exciting because I didn't think anybody was. And not only that, he's still about 10 times more active. He's as fired up as anybody. I'm just so excited to have him on. How about you?
Couldn't be more excited. This is awesome. The millennial generation, right there.
I have been a fan of Don Failla for so long, from so many people flipping that crazy napkin presentation on me because they kept saying, Tom, your training sucks. Why don't you learn something from Don Failla? So I would go read the napkin presentation. Then I'd try to change it around and call it the Tomkin presentation and do some completely horrible hybrid deal because my ego was so big that I refused to actually call him on the phone and embrace him. Instead, I had to feebly copy him, of which I never did a good job. This guy is unbelievable. Don Failla, it's an honor having you on the show.
hey, thanks a lot, Tom. You know, it's kind of interesting because, the book now has sold over 9 million copies. It's in all the major languages, probably over 20 languages coming out and more. But I never wrote the book to make money writing a book. I was using the napkin presentations for about 10 years. I'd be in a restaurant. People, I would sketch out things on the napkin and so forth. And when I got through them, they understood network marketing. Well, after doing it, it'd take about 3 to 4 hours to do that. Okay. And after doing that for 10 years, I was at a junior tennis tournament with our boys in Tucson, Arizona. And I told Nancy, I can't do this anymore. So when we got back to the Northwest with 14 people in the room, I did the first recording of the napkin presentations, and then later I did it again in a studio, condensed it down to like 1 hour. But probably the smartest and luckiest thing I've done in my entire life, of course, other than marry Nancy, was I didn't mention the name of the company that I was with when I did the presentation. Well, the tape got out into several companies, and within 3 to 4 months sold over 10,000 copies.
Wow.
From the tape, the book was written, and it's been all history ever since. Just a quick, short preview here. Nancy and I have done training seminars in now over 35 different countries. Okay, and the publishers, we have publishers, like I said, all over the place. I have never had to look for a publisher. They've always come to us because somebody's building a business. They got a hold of the book. They need the book. So I said, well, great. Why don't you just go ahead and publish it for us? So that's how that came about.
We have our first text message question. Do you want to know what it is?
Go ahead.
What's a tape?
Yeah, what's the tape?
Poor kids don't even know what a tape is anymore. He's talking about an audio cassette tape that they used to use in the old days. You little snot-nosed millennials can you believe?
Hey, that's like Biden say, turn on your record player.
Man alive, we have aged, not so gracefully, but aged. But what's so exciting about the tape versus the now MP3 or whatever these kids call it is even though the technology has advanced, the message is timeless, right, Don?
You know, just to give you an idea, we've been with the same company now for 24 years, and we've had over 1.2 million people come into the business, and 95% of them came from the original four. Okay. What we are teaching today, okay, with technology and with our new app and the savings of time, people will be able to do in 2, 3 to 5 years what took us 24 years to do. I mean, that's exciting. I mean, you know, it's just totally amazing.
It has changed the price of poker dramatically. And what I love about you and this Jeff Romaldi guy that you've got working with you is also a beast. I love the guy. He follows up, he follows through, he tells the truth, all those things that I want to be when I grow up. I am telling you, what you guys have allowed, you've allowed people to take your success, but evolve with it instead of having to step way backward in technology and everything else to catch up with what you did way back then. You're on the leading edge of technology with a timeless message, which is amazing, right?
Well, yeah. And, you know, the reason we're so excited is that, like, right now, there's over 130 million people in the world in network marketing, and this doesn't count customers. And, you know, when you think about it, over 90% of them don't have a clue what they're doing. They think they're in sales, okay? We're not in sales, we're in network marketing, you know? And once people understand it, in fact, the thing that's interesting is that, you know, the failure rate is huge in network marketing. You can talk to people who've been in network marketing over a period of 10, 15, 20 years. They've been in 5, 6 different companies.
Sure.
And I tell people that 100% of the people in the world not in network marketing don't understand it. 80 to 90% of the people in it don't understand it. And you'd be amazed how many company owners don't understand it. Well, these people that are in network marketing, because they don't understand it, they think they're going to go out and, note the word, recruit some salespeople. And boy, if they do, they're going to get rich. It doesn't work that way, because here's what happens. This salesperson that gets into network marketing because somebody showed him a hot deal, he's out there recruiting people to sell this product. Okay, we don't do that. We sponsor and teach. Now, you can take a good salesperson in a year, they can recruit 50 to 100 people, okay? But they have not duplicated themselves one time. Now, what duplication means is that when you sponsor someone, that person is at least 3 levels deep. You look at the genealogy, they have not duplicated themselves one time. A year goes by, people are dropping off faster than they can add them. So now they think there's something wrong with the company, the product, their sponsor, but someone shows them another hot deal. Now they're off onto the next hot deal. And that repeats itself over the years. And, you know, I might be talking to someone who's been in 4, 5, 6 different companies, but they're not in one right now. When I say 100% of the people in the world not in it don't understand it, they say, well, I understand it because I've been in 5 programs. I say, well, yeah, if you understood it, you'd still be in the first program making a fortune, okay? So that's kind of basically what we have evolved to. Let me tell you a quick little analogy. If you owned a brand new Lamborghini or Ferrari, would you let your best friend go for a drive around the block in your brand new Lamborghini or Ferrari if they didn't know how to drive?
No.
Okay. I have never got anything other than a no on that question, ever. But think about it. All these people get into these companies, they think their vehicle's the hot vehicle. They have some, they go to somebody's house, spend an hour and a half, 2 hours telling them all about their hot vehicle, the company, product, market. Sure, they get them excited, they sign them up. The next day, those people go out and start talking to what could be their best prospects, and they are crashing and burning all over the place because, see, they don't have a clue how to drive the vehicle, okay?
Yep.
So our philosophy is really simple, okay? We never, ever talk about the vehicle until we talk to someone about what they want and find out if they would like to learn how to drive the vehicle. And when they read my book, they understand network marketing. And when they understand it, now they know how to drive. And that's simple. I mean, you know, either teach them how to drive or put them on a vehicle and let them crash and burn. And that's why people By the time they talk to 3 people, because they don't know how to talk to them about network marketing, they're all ready to quit.
Exactly. And so, Don, what's that first step in showing somebody how to drive the vehicle instead of just tossing them the keys to the Lamborghini and watching carnage?
Here's what we like to do, okay? And this works virtually universal. And I have a pin on Own Your Life, okay? People will ask, Own Your Life, what's that, okay? Now, if you don't have the hat or the pin, we can get you one. But anyway, if you don't have it, you can simply, if you're talking to a friend, you say to them, have you ever thought about what it would be like if you could own your life? Now, they're going to look at you a little strange, because they don't really know what you mean. Well, see, that's having time, money, and health. Do you realize, think about this, most people don't even know one person that has all 3.
Right.
Young people, millennials, if they're making 60 to 100,000 a year, they have a little money, they don't have any time because of their commute and their job time and things they have to do. Their health's okay. Older people have a lot of time, but they're running out of money and their health's shot. I heard recently on the news that the average person in America, when they retire, can't put their hands in the case of an emergency on $1,000. So time, money, and health. So it's a simple question. How would you like to have all 3 at a time in your life when you could enjoy it? Virtually all say yes. Now, what I just said there is what we're calling the 1-minute presentation. And anybody that can learn that can build a business. Because after that, then the tools take over. The app takes over and does all the talking. Not some of the talking, all the talking. So anybody can build a business. And once they understand that we're not looking for salespeople, they've got a huge market. See, these people start these new companies, they have these hot products and so forth, and they hire a sales manager to go out and recruit people to sell their hot product. That doesn't work, okay? But they've got a small market. Like, for example, only 8% of the people in the world are really into health, really seriously into health. And if you argue that, measure the square footage of your health food stores in town, in your supermarkets, and you won't have 8%, okay? Now, virtually all the companies are teaching their people to recruit people to sell their hot health products. And so you got a couple problems. Okay, you got a small market, 8%. You got a lot of competition because that's what they're all doing. And 95% of the people don't want to have anything to do with selling.
Right.
So here we come along and we say, we're not looking for salespeople. Salespeople are the worst prospects out there. However, a salesperson can be huge in network marketing, but under one condition and one condition only, they have to learn network marketing. See, you've read the book, so you're familiar with the napkin presentation on your business looks like a big building. The bigger the building, the more the income you have. But see, you cannot see that building until you dug the foundation. We were living in Las Vegas when they built the Plaza. Go ahead.
So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back right after this. This is Don Failla. This is the book Own Your Life. This is the napkin presentation. This is history talking to you. You need to pay attention to it. Go look at the app during the break. This is incredible stuff. We're coming back right after this on the Genesis Communication Network. Holy mackerel, how about this guy?
That's good. Yeah, it's so.
Do you love him?
Completely love him. And what I really appreciate.
There's his book. That's so
cool.
cool.
That's awesome. What I really appreciate about what you're doing, Don, and what we're doing with contact mapping. So we're on the break on the big radio, and we're live on Facebook, and so we're doing a contact mapping commercial here on the break. And what I love so much about what you guys are doing, Don, is that what you have shown is everything about success in business, let alone success in network marketing. It's all timeless principles that you're just repackaging to fit with the time, right? It's not a cassette tape anymore. It's an audio, or it's a book, or it's an app. And it's the same thing with contact mapping. We have taken the things that worked that are timeless, like the old index card systems and these things where you really learn somebody's story and you set yourself that follow-up and you create a simple system to make sure that you're actually doing those basics of business really well. And we have modernized all that. And what's crazy is that most of what is out there, they're trying to do some newfangled thing that gets away from the foundational stuff because we're so addicted to new. But that newfangled thing is not what's going to get you there from here. What's going to get you there is the old principles applied right in the modern era, right?
Yeah, and you have to use the technology, not let the technology use you.
Yeah.
Most important thing you can think of. You've got so many fans. John Hammock, legend in network marketing. Harold Davis, legend. I'm watching people comment about you because I am telling you, all of us old guys are doing exactly what you taught us to do, and we're trying to embrace the new technology to fit that, and it won't. What I love about your book and your app is that it's finally making all this stuff come together, and you've done a phenomenal job of making that happen. And we did the same thing with contact mapping.
Right.
We basically have got your Rolodex in the palm of your hand. We've got your contacts, in all the people that you've got on Excel on the business cards in the palm of your hand. We've got their life story in the palm of your hand. So all of a sudden you can master the interview, you can master documentation, you can master follow-up inside of what Don's doing. Once you get that person into your business, it's over, and that's very, very cool.
Exactly right. And it comes down to these principles that Don is teaching you guys, that it's not about some big fancy sales pitch. It's about being a human being, learning somebody's story, being able to then invite them to take a look at what you're doing, to use these, that 1 minute business presentation that he just gave you that framework for, and to be able to tie it exactly into, I know why this is going to be a fit for you because I know your story and I care enough about you to do that. And that's what we are all about. And so I'm so excited that we're having this conversation because I think it's such a hand in glove sort of a deal. And so we're going to come back from the break here in a minute, but contact mapping is completely free for you to try out. If you go to contactmapping.com/free, which is on the bottom of your screen, you can go and download it for free from the App Store or the Android Store. You can see a video about what it's all about. And you're going to go crazy when you get your hands around what this is doing. And I want you to listen to what Don has to say through that frame, because I think we're speaking the same language and these things are really compatible together.
Yep. So we're going to come back right after this. Two old dogs teaching you new tricks. We'll be back right after this. All right, we are back. It is Tom Chenault. It is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. We've got the great Don Failla with us, and I am telling you, it is Adrian. Here's how Adrian and I communicate. We kick each other when one of us wants to talk. Adrian's kicked me like 10 times trying to talk to this guy because the lights are turning on for a millennial. And that makes me extremely happy, because the hardest thing to do for any of us, if you look at the Amway people, the Bill Britts, the Dexters, all those guys, their complete framework is relevant now, except it hasn't been adapted the way that Don has been able to take the napkin presentation into the year 2020, into the year 2030. I just love what you've done, Don, and thank you very much. And hold up your book again, because people didn't get to see it because we were in the break. But he's written this tremendous book that's been read and bought over 9 million times. And the way he talks and the way he promotes, there's only one guy I know out there that's the same way, and that's that guy from Dead Doctors Don't Lie, Dr. Joel Wallach, because you can't talk to Dr. Wallach without getting a book held in front of you. And you can't talk to Don Failla the same way. And we've had Harvey McKay from Swim with the Sharks on here several times, who is he's written 2 of the biggest business books in the history of books being written, 2 of the most popular of the 15. It did not come out of my mouth. And he is exactly like Don too. And all I'm going to tell all of you young people is there's much to learn from these masters of business, and please pay attention, because I am telling you, you will win at the end of the day. And somebody's got to put in the comments and on the screen so we can speak at the website to get the app, because it's important.
Absolutely. So, Don, I want to hear more about, because I was really intrigued as you were sharing before the break about this idea of, you kind of have that, that 45-minute or 45-second or 1-minute sort of commercial. And from there, the app is holding people's hands along the way. So what, how is the app that you guys have that partners along with this book carrying people through that process?
Okay, let me answer that in just a second. Let me just finish up this one point. I talked to you about the most important word in network marketing is understand, because people don't understand it. When they understand it, they know how to drive. The next most important word is patience. And I was talking about your business should look like a big building. The bigger the building, the more the income. But you can't see the building till you dig the foundation. That takes patience. I'm going to say something right now that's going to shock some people. People ask me what my number one recommendation is for a new person getting started in network marketing. I tell them to get a job. Okay, think about it. There isn't a network marketing company I've seen in the world where a person can go full-time from day one and pay their mortgage, pay their car payment, pay their bills, put food on the table, put braces on their kids' teeth, do the whole thing. Can't do it, okay? So unless you have a spouse, like Nancy supported our family for about 7 years, way back in the beginning when we were getting started, okay? Or you have enough money saved up to hold you for a year or two, you better have a job to cover your basics while you're digging the foundation, because that is going to take a little bit of time. But see, the thing is that you've got a light at the end of the tunnel, okay? Because you're not going to have to keep that job forever. But that's the thing. And then the other thing I want to finish off too is that talking about the market of having 8%, a lot of competition. See, we have a market of 100%, not 8%, okay? Because 95% of the people want something they don't already have. The 5% of the people on the top, they've already got everything, but they like to live forever. So we say they make great customers. So we got a huge market. So all we have to do is talk to people about what they want. That's it. What do you want? And let them talk. One of the keys to what we teach is to quit talking. The salespeople, that's another problem they have. They talk too much because people say, oh yeah, you can do it because you can really talk, or they say, well, I don't have time to do what you're doing. So let them tell you what they want. Now you can guide the conversation, say, well, hey, how do you plan on getting what you want in life? Okay, they already know they're not going to get it from their job. Traditional business doesn't work. I mean, we owned an International House of Pancakes for 4 years before network marketing. We had 35 teenage employees. We were open 24/7. Had 3 days off in 4 years. So I know what it means not to own any of our life.
Yeah.
So the only way we tell people you're ever going to ever really own your life for the masses is to get into network marketing. And notice how we bring that up right up front, because we know there's misconceptions and misunderstandings about it. And that's where we tell them that 100% don't understand it and so forth. So that's kind of where we're at with, evolving with the app to teach people how to do the system. So you don't have to do it, for all your people. They can do it for themselves. In fact, we've even added to the app now questions and answers. So if people have any questions about how to use it or work it or whatever, they can go right onto the Q&A and get them handled.
Take another break. So stick around. We are coming back right after this with the great Don Failla. All right, we're out of here. I want Barty in here. Barty Toto's in the building.
We have a special guest today.
We have so you guys do it. These people are bored with me. Hello, Barty.
Here, come on over here.
These guys. I want you to meet the great Don Failla.
Don, meet Barty Toto.
Hey, Don, how are you?
Hi, Barty. How are you?
So wonderful meeting you. You sound amazing. I love your Aloha shirt.
Well, that's all I have ever worn for maybe 35 years now. I don't own a suit, but I have about 400 Hawaiian shirts.
Well, I was born in Texas and raised in Hawaii, so you have the Aloha spirit.
Yeah, I just want to look like, I'm on vacation all the time and relaxed and so forth. I don't want to look like a salesman, wearing a suit.
Exactly. Well, so we're going to plug Barty a little bit because she's got some big stuff going on today. So she is launching a new book today as well called Disrupt Your Brand. And with that, you've got a big video launching today. So talk a little bit about what's rolling out today.
Yeah, I'm actually had interviewed Gary Vaynerchuk, and Disrupt Your Brand is about getting out there, getting out there, stand out, build credibility and trust. But the number one thing, and I'm sure you know it, the number one thing, and this is what Gary and I talked about, that if you do not get over this one thing, no matter what you teach, whatever, Adrian or Tom teaches or I teach, if we teach all these people how to sell without selling, how to bring themselves, whatever it is, if they can't get this one past this one thing, they will fail. And that is resistance. And that is the secret interview. In fact, I just let the cat out of the bag that Gary and I talked about for about 20 minutes. Adrian and my son are the only two people on the whole planet who have seen this interview.
It's good. You want to watch it.
It is coming out today. So, yeah. So it's about not just building your brand, but resistance, gratitude, and asking. Because I'm a huge gratitude freak, I guess. But if you don't ask, you don't get. But what I've been sharing with Adrian is asking is a form of gratitude. When you ask, you're allowing somebody to give back. And you have done that very well. It sounds like you've done it phenomenal in your career. I mean, you've done what few have done, so.
Very, very cool. And so when is this video launching and how do people go and find it?
The video will be out later this afternoon on YouTube.
Okay.
Maybe this evening. And the channel is called Gratitude Lifestyle, which, of course, on YouTube. And they can get the book on Amazon, Disrupt Your Brand. And Gary is actually featured in the book. I've had the honor of being able to interview him several times, and he's been a dear friend for about 14 years.
And so we've got about a minute and a half left, Barty, but talk a little bit about why contact mapping and what you do with gratitude and the power of asking. Why do those two things go so well together?
One thing I love about contact mapping is it's all about building relationships. They have created something that goes against the grain. You have taken relationships to another level. It's just like the past 13 years, as I've shared many times, I have not spent a dime on marketing or branding at all. It's all been about building relationships through gratitude, loving people where they are, complimenting them on social media, making a comment. A comment takes 5 seconds, not being lazy and just liking and retweeting. And the same thing with contact mapping. You're teaching people how to engage, build a relationship, follow up, and follow through. And it also reminds you, and that's why I'm in love with contact mapping, because everything that I have done all these years without spending a dime, and people cannot figure out how I've gotten to the interviews I've gotten to, or how I got into Forbes or Entrepreneur Magazine. People can't figure it out. Yep. And honestly, it's all been through asking and gratitude, but more gratitude. It's all about building that relationship first. Yep. And then the income will follow. And that's exactly what you've done. That's exactly what Tom has done. And contact mapping, I mean, you have to have this. If you're in any business, I don't care if you're a realtor, a contractor, a musician, videographer, video editor, any type of business that is relationship based, where you have to communicate and not sell, but I call it sell without selling.
Yep.
You have to have contact mapping. It's like increased my business by like 500%.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations on the new book launch. We got to come back from the break here, but it's great to have you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
And we're back. It's Tom Chenault, it's Adrian Chenault, and it's the great Don Failla. Hope you enjoyed the breaks. And hi, Adrian.
Hello, Father.
Okay, so let's talk about what this guy's got going on. I finally got a website that we can say on the radio. I need you to grab a pen and a piece of paper, because the website we've got for you to get this napkin presentation will be the toughest thing that you do in the entire day that you're doing here. It's sell, S-E-L-L, dot, XOMLY.com / XVDJ89. I have no idea why it's that long. I have no idea, but I'm going to tell you one thing right now. For an old guy like me, I know you didn't write that down right. So we're going to do it one more time right now. Sell, S-E-L-L, dot, XOMLY.com / XVDJ89. So go to that website. Take a look at what they're doing. There's two beautiful videos. One by obviously Nancy. She brings in Don at the end. And then the second video is a guy named Jeff Romaldi, who's also very cool, from Arkansas. So he's a slow talker. It's very, very cool. So we're off to the races. Don't you love this guy?
Absolutely love him, and that's for you Facebookers. That's in the comments. So
yeah. But anybody that's listening on the radio, 550 radio stations.
I know.
We don't have. I had to do that. I'll give that to you again, 2 or 3 more times. But I want to make sure you've got it, because I am telling you, one of the catalysts to my career was the napkin presentation. And it had been so long ago that I was a devotee of it, I'd actually forgotten how much absolute good it did for me, until this Jeff Romaldi finally called me on the phone, said Don Failla is more relevant right now than he's ever been. Take a look at the organization that he's built, look at the results that he's generated, look at the retention that he's got, and look what happened off of 4 people he brought into his business. I almost swallowed my cigar, got into that app, got into his book, and the rest is history. So I'm telling all of you, if you want to revisit history into the future, you want to go to that website I just gave you, that I'm going to give you again in a minute. What do you want to know from him? That was a mouthful from me.
Hey, Tom, I got an idea for you.
Hit it.
You could also make it simple and have them go to my last name, FaillaLegacy.com.
Oh, God. Why didn't I know that before? Failla, F-A-I-L-L-A, Legacy, Legacy.com. Go there. Forget that thing I just did. That is critically important. Don Failla is his name. There's 2 L's in Failla. Legacy.com. Go do that. Good God.
That's a lot easier. Why didn't you say so sooner, Don? Goodness.
All right, fire Jeff.
So anyway, once we find out what the people want, and we tell them it's network marketing, then of course, if they want to proceed, they need to understand network marketing. So history-wise, and you'll see this when you look at the app with Jeff demonstrating how the app works. I mean, the first time I saw this, how, you could go to the first 4 chapters of the napkin presentations and hit a little arrow, bring up your address book and send it to people anywhere in the world, 5 different ways. You can send it on, on WhatsApp and Skype and email and cut and paste and so forth. But, he talks about how when he used the tools back before we have the technology, that he would get 5-10 books, loan them out, some he'd get back, some he wouldn't, and so forth, have to pay the postage, and he would be spending $50 to $150 a month, on the tools, which he didn't mind doing because he was very successful doing it. But see, now for $15 a month, the person can literally send out unlimited first 4 chapters of the book free anywhere in the world. Plus they get the entire book in print and audio. And a problem we've run into is people are saying, well, I don't have time to read. Well, 90% of the cars you see out there going to work, there's one person in the car and they're bored to death going to a job they hate. Now they can listen to the book on their commute. And, if they get to the 5th chapter and get interrupted, they don't have to start from the beginning, go back again. They go right to it. So having these kind of tools is just, revolutionizing the industry totally.
I think you're 100% right. And I am telling you one thing right now. It is, for $15 a month, you got to figure, it happens to me every day. Well, I can't justify that. Oh, yes, you can. That's like 2 lattes. So Stop that scarcity mentality. Look at where you're spending your money and see how smart you're spending your money. And if you can't crush $15 out of your budget, you really need to be doing network marketing.
100%.
See, after they see Nancy do a little introduction, then you'll see me holding the book, giving kind of the history of the book.
Yeah.
And then I do a 25-minute presentation, virtually teaching the system. And then Jeff follows up. It's almost kind of like a review of what I just said, which when people hear it twice, it sinks in. But then he syncs his phone to his computer and shares the screen and shows people exactly how this thing works. So you got your whole business like in the palm of your hand. It is so cool when you see this. It's just going to blow you away.
Well, that's exciting stuff, man.
That is so cool. And so how, you guys, you really, went and did the work to modernize this thing and to, to take this message into the 21st century. And, why now, what's prompting you that now is the time that we got to go and just, really reinvigorate this message for the next generation of network marketers?
Well, in my life, everything has always kind of just evolved, and we have a friend that's working with Jeff and myself and Dana Hicks, and he's the one that gets the hats for us and the pins and stuff like that. But he happened to know a person at Zomly, and they're the ones that are the company that makes the apps. And he knew a person there, and then we had a conference call with them and Dana's friend and so forth, and we just put it together. I didn't even really understand it, to tell you the truth, but once as I got to know what's happening and how this is working and how this is going to revolutionize the industry, because if you can get the 130 million people, 90% of them understanding network marketing and knowing they don't have to sell, then look at how many people they can talk to. If they're not just looking for salespeople, they've got a ton of people to talk to. It's just amazing. So it just kind of evolved. Everything in my life has just kind of evolved.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're good at duplication. I'm thinking about your shirt. Then I think Richard Brooke, same shirt. Robert Hollis, same shirt. Robert Butwin, same shirt. John Amick, same shirt. You even duplicated your wardrobe. I've never seen anybody trying to look like me. Everybody's trying to look like him. Don't you find that? Yeah. Great job.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is crazy. So here's the next question. Network marketing. Here we are in 2020. We just gone through COVID. We've got obviously the FTC breathing down the throats of all the companies who are breathing down the throats of, or the backs, whatever you breathe down the back of. Here's the deal. And they're all about income claims. They're all about health claims. There is a complete panic on that side for saying the right thing. I think your napkin presentation conversation solves a lot of that problem too, because you're not getting into that murky water. It is complete authenticity. You're telling people, a couple of seconds ago, you said the first thing you tell people is to go get a job. Second thing you said was it took you 7 years before you ever really got this thing to the point where you could quit any of those crummy jobs. I think that you're doing it the right way, don't you?
Oh yeah, there's no question about it. I had some people visiting us the other day. Another thing your fans can look at is failavilla.com. And this is a private resort that we developed. It's about 3 miles from where we live. And it's a beautiful property. I won't take the time to tell you about it because you can look at the photos, in that website. But we had some people there we hadn't seen for a long time. And this gal, she said, well, Don, how much are you making, with our network marketing company? And I said, Jimena, there's only 2 people that know that. That's my tax preparer and Nancy. Okay. We never talk about what we make money-wise. Okay. You see where we live, we own the house next door. We own Fayetteville with all this property. I said, the good thing about all this stuff, we don't have any mortgages. We own our life. We have time, money, and health.
And you don't have to you don't have to blow any smoke at anybody. You just say, look at the evidence around. In fact, somebody today asked me if they would let me come out and go through my house and say, is this the house that network market? And I said, no. I get under any microscopes or anything, you know, people can figure out. I watched Jeff Roberti. I don't know if you know him.
Oh, I know. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, good man. And he said the same thing. He says, I don't have to tell you how much money I make. Look at my life. And that's basically what you said. And, you know, you're not hyping anybody. You're just standing back saying, this is the product of a lot of hard work over a long period of time, right?
Hey, I got a hot tip for your people. Could pay for them having the site for probably 2 years. I bought a brand new Telluride, Kia Telluride. I've had it for 6 months. I've got 2,222 miles on it in 6 months. I heard an ad that people, this might apply to the whole country, but that if you don't drive over 50 miles a year, your insurance company will lower your rate on your car insurance. So I said, oh, why not? I called up USAA, called them up, and I said, hey, look at, I'm not even driving 50 miles a month and so forth. I lowered my premium by $416 just on that one phone call.
Holy mackerel.
That's pretty cute.
Well, yeah, I know. And he's still pinching pennies, and he's a trillionaire. This is my kind of guy. That's very, very good. And I've got a screen in the corner looking at failavilla.com. And that, you know what I like about that is it gives me something to work for. You know, at the big time, I'm going to this, and this. And if I just work hard enough, I'm going to get there from here with a little bit of luck and the right company and the right everything. And yeah, I'm not making any income projections again, but I sure like what you're doing there, Don. What do you think about the network marketing profession as a whole right now? You think it's good?
Well, you know, that just kind of leads me into what I was going to tell you right now. Anyway, you're going to love this little presentation. It just takes a couple minutes. When you're talking to people you know and so forth, you know, you can let them know that they have two choices in life. One is to get a job. The other is to get an opportunity.
Guess what I did? I want to hear the story, but I completely started it, a 3-minute story in 30 seconds that we have, because I'm a terrible talk show host. So we're coming back. This guy goes, I just can't believe how fast the time is going by with him. I love him. This is Don Failla. This is the Genesis Communication Network. Thank you, Ted Anderson, for putting us on the air all these years. We'll be back right after this. Stick around.
He starts asking that question. I'm going, no.
Yeah,
no,
he starts kicking me. I go, what? But I'm so enthralled by you because I've never met a guy my age that's acting so fired up about life that I want to marry him. So this is awesome. So what do you do at Contact Mapper?
Yeah, so, you know, what we have been doing, and one of the big things that we have learned over the last couple of years on this journey is, you know, having great technology is essential. Having a great system is essential, but it's only as good as the habits and the patterns that you're going to put into what you're doing. And so what we have done, and I'd love for you to talk about this, Don, what we've done is we've created a community around our product where every single week we have a weekly kickoff call, and we're having our community ask questions and get themselves unstuck and then set goals for the week of what are the activities that they're going to do to move their business forward. And every Friday we have a look back and a celebration where we celebrate what happened, we retool, we coach, and we move people forward. And it's just a game changer because it's all about habit formation. It's all about making that consistent progress to build that big tree trunk that's going to last for generations to come. Right, Don?
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds really good.
You got a tribe. I mean, attract your tribe. Attract a hard-working, no hype, honest, caring about people tribe where you feel safe, where you feel that you can trust and be trusted, where you're loved and can be loved, and the party is over. And that's what, I mean, there's so many people on this planet for you to prospect for, so to speak. Go find the people that are looking for you instead of chasing people that are going to leave the minute they're out of your sight anyway. That's my only tip. Don't you agree?
Completely agree.
And I've built a couple pretty big organizations myself doing it the same way you did, sir. And I love the fact that watching you and your wife on that video and getting ready for this show and watching what you've done with Jeff Romaldi while teaching that. So then a guy named Jeff Weisberg, who's down in Siesta Key, Florida, friends of some serious network marketers like Harris Williams, like Larry and Taylor Thompson, like Jeff Roberti, like Dan Stamen. He hangs with that crowd. They're just putting out Henley, whatever Henley's first name is. They're putting out this tremendous book by all the icons and legends in network marketing saying the same thing that Don Failla's talking about. So then I'm talking about White to Weisberg a couple days ago, and he asked me if I knew Romaldi and you, because all these huge people are intertwined somehow, and that is beautiful. And the reason that I'm saying all that is because I looked on my contact mapping app, I popped up the word Don Failla, and here came all those names because of Romaldi. Googled my brain.
Yeah, and how powerful is that? As the more you connect, the more interconnections there are, and the harder it is to pull them up if you don't have something that's going to let you draw on that. And so go to contactmapping.com/free and go get the app completely for free, no credit card required. And go to community.contactmapping.com, which is where all that community stuff is happening, and see what's happening there, because you're just not going to believe what is available to you if you'll just show up and jump in the trenches with us, because that's what we're doing. So we're going to come back here in about 10 seconds.
Okay, here's a trick that none of you know. If you go into Google right now and type in, how do I Google my brain? What comes up is contact mapping. That is going to blow your mind. So go do that right now. We're going back. And we're back. It's the Tom Chenault Show. Oh, no, it's not. It's the Network Marketing and Leadership Show with Tom Chenault, Adrian Chenault, and I just told a little white lie during the commercial. And so I thought I would confess to you right now, so you didn't try. Any of you didn't. I know all of you fell for my trick, but you can't. So that's the way it goes. We're here with Don Failla, who is adorable, and he's about to tell us a story that I interrupted him on. So go ahead and tell us the story now, Don.
You're going to have so much fun with this one, okay? Tell people that they have two choices in life. Either get a job or get an opportunity. Okay? There's no schools that I know of in the world that teach opportunity. It's all about get a better education to get a better job. So here's the question. To get a college degree, how many books did you read? How much did those books cost? How much time did it take you to read them? And how much student loan did you pile up doing it? Now, by the time you graduate from college, your mind is now programmed that if you get an MBA or a master's degree, you're going to get a better job. So there's another 2-3 years, more books, more expense, more student loan. Then you graduate and you get that better job. And I'll guarantee you that 80% of the people in 5 to 6 years hate their job, hate their boss, hate their commute, and they're going to be stuck there for 30 years. And I saw in the news where the average person retires, can't put their hands on $1,000 cash in the event of an emergency. Now that's one choice. The other choice is the opportunity. You can read one book, and I know you guys got other books and stuff too, but because you read the one book, you understand network marketing. When you understand it, you know how to drive. So by doing that, you've already got your college degree, okay? Now, with everything that's on the app, if you study and learn everything there, we keep adding more content to it, you can learn everything you'd ever need to know in 2 to 3 weeks to be able to retire in 2 to 5 years, okay? Now, you put the thing to practice, you got your master's degree now, but after 2 to 5 years of, using the material and so forth, now you've got a PhD in network marketing. We got to give some education to our industry.
And Malcolm Gladwell talks about 10,000 hours before you're an expert in anything.
That's not true.
What do you think it is?
Right now, I could say a few hours. What we have with the app.
Yeah, I'm glad. I love that. Okay, good. But you have got to admit that over the course of your career, you've got tens of thousands of hours of learning this and teaching this profession. Would you agree with that?
Not by reading so much as observation.
Righto. So what does an average day in the life of Don Failla look like? And I love the fact that you challenged me on that a lot, more than you're ever going to know. Tell me what the average day in the life of you looks like now with the app, with what you're developing, with what you're doing, with a huge organization. What does your day look like?
Well, first of all, when I get up in the morning, I do the normal brush my teeth, do the usual things there. and then I go have breakfast, and then I put out the feed for the birds. My backyard, I have 4 stations to feed finch. I have several places I feed bluebirds, which is really fun. If you've never fed bluebirds before, you watch them fly over and pick up a peanut, and you can see them shake their head because they want to make sure there's something in it before they fly off. They'll put it back and pick up 5, 10 peanuts before they finally get the one that they're going to take off with. I've seen them on a tree 100 yards away with a peanut in their mouth, fly all the way back, put it back, and pick up another one. And I've got hummingbird. I've got a backyard that I like the jungle look, that I spend an hour every morning just watering the backyard so it's nice and green and so forth. Then I come in and I just check my emails and respond to emails. I tell the people that we work with that we'll talk to people anywhere in the world on their behalf, and there are 2 conditions. The one is that they've read the book, or at least the first 4 chapters. And the second condition, if they're outside the US, they're on Skype or WhatsApp or, Zoom, whatever, have to way of communicating. The reason they have to do the book before I will talk to them, because if they don't, then I get stuck trying to explain network marketing to them. And we did that for 10 years, 3 to 4 hours a day. And I totally got burned out on doing it. So I don't do that anymore, because this guy wants to own his life, can't take time to read 4 chapters of the book. And that 4 chapters is not only print, but when you send it out, you can send it out in audio. So, I mean, they can do that. So that's pretty much it. And then I like making 1,000-piece puzzles. I work on a puzzle, and then I might initiate a few phone calls, and I'll go work on the puzzles, and I'll get interrupted by people calling, and I'll deal with them. And it's a fun lifestyle. I'll go up to
Live like me. That's good. You upset about them stopping and banning TikTok?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm kidding. All right, good. All right, we got to get out of here. Has this been a good enough day?
It's just been unbelievable, and you didn't even officially know this because I only got the official confirmation during the show. Guess who we have on the radio with us next week?
Who?
We have the great Cody Bateman.
Cody Bateman. He's the founder and owner of Send Out Cards. And if there was anybody that has made a difference out there in the world with people and gratitude, it's him. I'm really, really excited about having him on.
Tom, let me tell you something you don't know.
What?
The 8th of next month, I'm doing the same thing I just did for you, for him.
For Cody Bateman?
Good.
I'm telling you, we love Cody Bateman with all of our heart, and we love you. And you just made it into the Tom Chenault Rolodex. And yet, guess what, young man? I am going to interrupt you feeding those birds a lot more than you think, because I need more friends my age. So thank you.
I got to say one more thing before you run.
Yeah.
You got to have Nancy on sometime.
Next month. Let's do it.
Just, she hasn't been too well lately, but I'll let you know when she's okay to go, because she is absolutely awesome. Like he's read in the promo thing, I talk to the brain and she talks to the heart.
I like her a lot more than you already. All right, man.
70% of the people in networking are women, so that's good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Don. Thanks for listening today.
We'll see you later, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Have a good day. Bye.
Cody, next week.
Great.
You're a
Thank
great
you
man,
so
man.
much,
We
Don.
love you.
Well done. That was really, really good. We're off Facebook now, and
We're still live, so you're still on the radio. You're just not on the. You're still on Facebook.
no, we're off everything.
We're off
just
everything.
saying goodbye and telling them we love them.
You are a beautiful man, sir.
Thank you very much.
Have a great, great day, and tell Romaldi we really appreciate him.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
You got lucky there. We'll see you later.
Take care. Thanks.
Stop cutting Facebook off so fast.
I told her to.
Oh, never mind.